In 2012, over 4,700 pedestrians were killed and another 75,000 were injured by motor vehicles in the U.S. Approximately 2,000 of these fatalities happened at a crosswalk or where a crosswalk was available. There are several contributing factors to these deaths, but inattention on the part of the pedestrian or the driver is one of the main causes. As a transit or paratransit operator, a crucial element of your job is expecting the unexpected and defending against the errors of others. This is especially important when operating large vehicles around vulnerable road users, such as pedestrians and bicyclists, who may be oblivious to their surroundings or think the painted lines and lights of a crosswalk offer enough protection from injury or worse while crossing traffic. Your training, experience, attention to detail, and professionalism are the only things between your vehicle and potential tragedy. To help reduce the risk of bus-to-pedestrian contact, one of the best driving habits you can use is to square your turns. You've heard the safety and training staff within your organization preach for years to square your turns at intersections, especially while making a left turn. But what exactly does that mean to you? And what are the safety advantages of squaring your turn as opposed to a shortened or sweeping turn? Let's take a minute, we'll explain, try to answer those questions. Let's start by taking another look at the actions of our operator. Notice how the operator appears to have a fixed stare and isn't rocking and rolling in the seat? Keeping your head and eyes moving is a fundamental of safe vehicle operation. When negotiating a turn, it's even more important to be aware of your surroundings and do your best to eliminate blind spots. By rocking back and forth, left and right in the seat, you will be better able to see what may be obstructed by roof pillars, mirror housings, sun visors, and navigation devices. A pedestrian, bicyclist, or person using a wheelchair can easily be hidden from your view behind these items, or may be distracted by the 3 H's: handheld devices, hoodies, and headphones. Remember, keep your head and eyes moving and check your mirrors often to be aware of everything going on around your vehicle. Our operator does not have a safe grip on the steering wheel. Obviously, the steering wheel is the main controlling device for your vehicle. It is not a place to simply rest your hands. You must always have both hands on the steering wheel while the vehicle is in motion and never use the spokes of the wheel for turning. Employ the push-pull or hand-over-hand steering methods depending on the situation. The positive control of the vehicle is literally in your hands. The operator is taking the most direct route from the starting to end point in the intersection. This is called a sweeping turn. The operator is looking at the point of the intersection where she wants to end up and not at the bigger picture around her. Although the brakes may be covered, the operator has taken an angle that reduces a wider view of the intersection. In this position, the operator has to look over her left shoulder to see if a pedestrian has entered the intersection from the far curb side, further making this maneuver unsafe by taking her eyes off the direction the vehicle is traveling. Also, note how close the bus will come to the opposing vehicle stop at the light or the stop sign. What if those vehicles weren't stopped behind the stop line in their lane? The chances of a vehicle collision are increased, not to mention the pedestrians who could be in the crosswalk. Up to the moment of contact with the pedestrian, our operator did not decrease speed and in fact accelerated to maintain momentum. By taking a more direct route to the far side of the intersection, there is less chance the operator will be prepared to stop the vehicle. The sweeping turn generally requires the operator to accelerate, naturally meaning a longer stopping distance once the danger is recognized. The fact is, our operator is only saving about 3 seconds by cutting the turn short, and the maneuver exhibits an aggressive and forceful visual to the public. As seen from above, the starting point is represented by A and the end point C. We just saw our operator make the turn in a sweeping movement, represented by the red dotted line. We now realize that this driving habit can be deadly. Now let's see what it looks like when our driver squares the turn at an intersection and practices safer driving techniques. This is represented by the green dotted line, A to B to C. Sounds simple enough, but how do you square the turn, and why is this a safer maneuver? Our operator is rocking and rolling, keeping her head and eyes moving. Notice the body and eye movements of our operator, getting the big picture by eliminating blind spots caused by interior obstructions. She's also glancing at the mirrors. Note the positive control of the steering wheel and the use of both hands. She knows her vehicle will only perform as well as she operates it and does not have a casual grip on the wheel. Remember, 2 + 2 equals safety. 2 hands on the wheel and 2 eyes on the road at all times. In addition to being aware of her surroundings and controlling the direction of the vehicle, our operator slows to a coast and covers the brake pedal in anticipation of stopping if a hazard is detected. The vehicle should only be traveling at 3 to 5 miles per hour, and there's no reason to accelerate through the intersection by entering on a green light and making sure the road was clear for the turn. Keeping her upper body and eyes moving, the operator has a clear view of what's in front of and around the vehicle. She keeps the bus parallel with the crosswalk she will be turning into, staying as far outside the intersection as possible. The pivot point, indicated by the yellow line, is the point where the operator's shoulders are even with the center lane divider. This should be your reference spot that tells you when to start the turn. Without accelerating more than necessary, the operator then turns the vehicle sharply left following a 90-degree angle until the bus is fully facing the crosswalk. Our operator now has the clearest, widest view of the intersection possible and of any pedestrians that may be crossing from either curb. Now that the unit is squared, while continuing to rock and roll, only slight acceleration is needed to complete the turn. She can see the crosswalk is clear and can proceed safely through the intersection. Let's look at the turn once again in real time. Head and eyes moving. Positive control of the steering wheel. Enter intersection on a green light. Keep vehicle parallel to the crosswalk. Turn once you reach the pivot point. Slight acceleration to maintain momentum. It's that simple. Square your turns at every intersection. Whether you're dead-heading back to the yard, you have a standing room capacity load, or in your private vehicle. Always, always square your turns for safety. Thank you from the entire Capital Metro family, where we are serious about safety.